Hi Scorpio, welcome to your 2021 reading. Now we're going to do a full 12-month spread, one card for each month, possibly clarifiers if we feel like it. Now obviously it's a general spread, so it won't resonate for everybody. If you would like to book a personal 12-month reading, then my email address is in the description box below. You can also DM me on Instagram, it's probably slightly quicker. If you're on Instagram, and I do have a lot of free content on there as well, so it's worth giving me a little follow. Now, if you're not already a subscriber, do yourself a favour, hit the subscribe button and also check the bell, because from 2021 I'm going to be doing a lot more of my free readings on YouTube, so you'll get a notification, and generally it's a little bit quieter than it is on Instagram, so you'll probably get a bit more an in-depth reading. What were the other two things? Oh yeah, also my PayPal is listed below. Now, one, that is for if you'd like to book a private reading, but it's also if you would just like to make a little donation, because, you know, sometimes a lot of people appreciate the free content and think, yeah, I'll send you a couple of quid, buy yourself a coffee on me. So you're more than welcome to do that. If they are always gratefully received. If you would like to buy me something from my wish list, it is an Amazon wish list, but if you would prefer me to buy it elsewhere, because, you know, I don't think we need to get everything from Amazon, just it's quick and easy. Not that I'm hating on Amazon, I think Amazon's wonderful in its own right, but I'm all for supporting local businesses and small businesses and independents and stuff as well. So yeah, if you want to buy me something and would prefer me not to do it on Amazon, message me on Instagram and let me know, send me the PayPal, and I will get it somewhere else. So, without further ado, Scorpios, here we go, 2021. Now, 2020 has been a bit of a year, am I right? Yes, you all scream. Been good, it's bad, it's been ugly. Your January 2021, you've got the 10 of Cups. Now listen, for me that is, it's my happily ever after card. So for some of you, I feel like you're going to have that real sense of relief and just being able to enjoy, you know, it's very much a family situation. So it can either be that you know, you've been through the wars a little bit in your relationship, in your romantic partnership. And actually now, you know, January is just going to be a nice easy month where you appreciate each other more, where you're open, you're honest, you know, your feelings are in check and not under control, but they're balanced, and you're able to be honest and open, and that helps create an openness for your partner as well. So all of our emotions are valid, but it feels very much like your January is going to be like, right, okay, listen, I'm going to validate your emotions because they are valid. You're going to do it for me. And I'm not from an intentional perspective of going, right, I'm deliberately going to do that, but just being able to accept it and, you know, be honest. And for me, that's really, really lovely. Now, coming into February, we've got the Six of Swords in reverse. And that for me is, it's a struggle, because I love it in the upright. In the reverse, it's not so much a positive for me, because it's stagnancy. It's not a refusal to change as such, but it's a bit more like just not making the progress that would be good for you. Now, that doesn't have to be in a romantic relationship. It doesn't have to be, you know, work. Take it how it resonates. But be aware that I think February is going to be a little bit on the stagnant side. I am going to pull another card for that one. Okay, Lovers. So be careful in January that you don't overdo it and you don't get too complacent. Because I think do you know what it is? There's two ways of looking at it. It's either the relationship isn't making the progress that you need it to make, in that maybe you want to move in together, you want to get married, you want to have a baby, whatever the progress is for you, the next step, putting it on Facebook. Whatever the progress is for you, I don't think it's necessarily coming in February. I think you're going to be waiting a little bit longer. But the other way of looking at that is actually you're very happy in your relationship and that's making the rest of your life stagnant. That's not a bad thing, because listen, relationships are one of those things, a lot of the readings I do are relationship based. And being able to hold back your progress elsewhere because you're taking time out with your loved one to really get everything zoned in and really focus on what it is. And let's just take another minute for how beautiful this card is. Like how literally emotive that card is. We'll have a quick slurp. Hot water and lemon. I've been talking a lot. So yeah, listen, February, it's not going to be a bad thing, but it's going to be a chance to refocus. Not refocus, but to change your perspective, I think, because things are not going not moving, not going anywhere, because that sounds like get the hell out of there. If the progress takes a little bit of a step back, that's an opportunity to support your loved one or whoever it is, or to support yourself, because the Lovers can also refer to, you know, the balance of the male and the female within us. But this for me is absolutely a comfort card. It's like being able to comfort either your own self or someone else or your loved one, or just reconnecting. Now March, we've got the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords to me is not just about, you know, the classic take a break, but this is that reminder that actually it's a difficult one, because for me it reminds me of when you go to bed and you keep thinking, oh, I need to do that in the morning, or right, tomorrow I'm going to deal with it, tomorrow I've got to do this, take the recycling out, go to the compost bin, whatever it is. Those little niggles that pop into your head while you're falling asleep kind of keep you awake, because you think, oh God, I need to do that. Now, March, in that respect, I think is going to be a case of your rest is going to be a little bit hindered. Being able to switch off completely while also being ready. Like I always joke about it being a bit like cabin crew when they sleep mid-flight and they, you know, go for whatever their break is, like an hour, they get their head down, they shut their eyes, they wake up, they're probably not really slept because they're all, you know, they're in work mode still. I say that, I've not been cabin crew, I don't know what it's actually like. But I feel like the March is going to be a little bit stressful sleep is probably the best way to put it. Now, April, however, we've got the Three of Cups, which I now can't remember who that came up for. I think it was Virgo. But that's lovely, because this is, you know, it's a real celebratory card. It's very much about, you know, spending time with people that make you happy, getting out there, getting back out with friends, you know, going for coffees. I mean, these are on a pumpkin patch. They're having a lovely time drinking their coffees or whatever's in their coffee cup, because let's face it, could be anything. But they're, you know, they're having a lovely time. They're being around other like-minded people. So I feel like April is going to be a good chance for you to really drill down who it is you want to spend time with and making it happen, rather than, you know, because this also in March could be that people are trying to meet up with you and you're just a bit like, oh, do you know what, I'm tired, I don't want to, please don't take it personally, I'm exhausted, I'm worn out from work, from whatever it is, and I don't have the energy to come out and be on form. You know, like I was listening to Tina Turner on Oprah's podcast, and she was saying about, you know, like she got really tired of going on stage and being Tina. She was like, people don't want to see me stand there behind a microphone stand. They want to see Tina. I'm tired. And that's very much that Four of Swords. It's like, I don't have the energy to be who you need me to be right now, so I'm taking some time out. But by April, good. You've had that rest. And then it's time to get back out. Start celebrating, start being around other people. Because in May, you've got, this has come out for probably quite a few of the readings for 2021. We got some big change coming next year, this year, whenever you're watching it, it'll be this year. Anyway, because that for me is a wonderful moment. I adore this card because this is, you know, change is so good for us. Letting go of things that, you know, letting go of places, jobs, whatever it is that, you know, comes in. And for me, the Death card is always a case of, you know, if you don't make the change, someone is going to come in and make it for you. And being able to recognise that, you know, for example, losing a job is a really stressful situation. It's horrible. There is uncertainty, there's anxiety about finances, whatever it is, how long it's going to take to find a new job. You know, a lot of us have been through that in 2020. I mean, you know, it's not about me. But being able to appreciate that the sun will come out the other side of it, and sometimes the change that happens isn't happening to us, it's happening for us, because we've not had the strength to make the decision ourselves. So it's been made on our behalf. Someone else has decided, listen, you don't need to be here anymore. Maybe it's a relationship breakup, maybe it's a job, whatever it is, maybe it's a house situation. But it is, you know, it is in our best interest. And then coming into June, we've got the Ten of Wands. Now, the Ten of Wands for me in this deck is very much about being able to offer help. Yes, the burden is there. Yes, the stress and the struggle is real on what you've got to deal with. But, you know, the little bird on top, I'm like, he still has, you know, you still find the capacity with everything else that's going on. And let's face it, you've had a big change in May. So June is going to be a burdened time because you've gone through a big change. You've got to reassess things. You've got to rebalance, you know, books, home life, whatever it is that the big change is. It's a lot of effort to get things back on track, but I'm really glad that you're still finding time. You know, it's like I say, it's in the upright, so you're still able to help other people, even though the burden for you is very real. Now, July, unfortunately, we've got the Three of Swords, and that is, as the picture suggests, it's not pleasant, it's not fun, it's loss, it's hurt, it's, you know, feeling it almost that you're being attacked from all directions, that you know there's no chance of escape, and all you want to do is just, you know, crack on. But I feel like we've got the Knight of Cups. I feel like it is going to be a relationship loss, which is hard because January it seemed like everything was going really, really well. But if it's not working, then what's the point? You know, it's like, is it the Sex and the City film? Well, anyway, whenever Carrie meets Petrovsky's ex-wife, and she's like, oh, you know, relationships like a chore. If it isn't perfect, it's a disaster. It's not quite that bad for you guys, but it's very much, I think, you know, maybe that's the change. And that Three of Swords is the moment where you finally give in to it. Because maybe if it is, maybe this Ten of Wands is actually that you're trying very hard to be busy and to ignore those emotions, and July is when it's going to come down and stress you out, which isn't really going to change in August because you then got the Nine of Swords, which again is a really hard, like, I'm really not a fan of this card. I mean, I love it. Obviously, it's one of my favourite decks, but it's a real, this for me encapsulates everything the Nine of Swords is, which is stress. 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 And there's no two ways about it. It is literally just stress, stress, stress. Which unfortunately leads to the Queen of Pentacles in September. And her in the reverse, with her in the reverse, it's very much a case that this loss that you're going to go through, this stress that you're having in August, starts to make you question your worth and what you have to offer. And, you know, that's, I'm just going to grab an advice card for that, because that's not a great position to be in. Because when we start to question our worth is when we start to let other people treat us poorly. And the advice for that, let me just see, is the Knight of Swords. So to tackle things, because actually that is, you know, like the Knight of Swords to me is not afraid. Like he's literally, you know, he's up on his skateboard, jumping over the ramps, whatever it is he's doing, down the steps. You know, he's not afraid of how it goes. He might get hurt. He doesn't care. He'll get back up. He'll be fine. Whatever it is that happens, he'll be good. So I think if you get to a point in September where you're starting to question your worth, you need to remember that whatever happens, you can recover from it. It might not be easy, but you have the power within you to do it. And then, having come out of that, you then go to the King of Swords, which I really like because it's reminding yourself with that Knight of Swords that you can carry on going, and then it's progressing into October of going, do you know what, I did it. And yes, he might have been hurt, but he's still here, he's still there. And, you know, and what you've been through, the hurt that you've gone through might help someone else. You know, I forget what that phrase is about, your experiencing being someone else's survival guide or whatever it is. You know, it looks as though you are, over the summer you are going to have quite a bit of stress, but you'll come out stronger for it by October. And then moving into November, we've got the Two of Wands in reverse. Now that again, there's a lot here there's a lot of lack of progress, I think, throughout this year. You've got the Six of Swords in February, which is, you know, stagnancy, not moving forward. Then we've got all the stress, and then this Two of Wands in reverse for me is very much about not knowing your path, not being able to find the path, not being able to not finding the time to sit, you know, like upright. I love her. She's just chilling out with her map, thinking, where shall I go? What shall I do today? The road is my oyster. I know it's the world, but my feeling is that November is going to be a little sense of not knowing what to do for the best, which way to go. But then coming into December, you then got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. And that for me is it's like a loss of control of a loss of control, a loss of decision making, and that's clarified with the Star. So in order to make the decisions, you have to know what it is that you want. And unfortunately, Scorpio, it starts off really, really well. But there's a lot of, like I say, of stress, of loss and change. But I think if in order to, like with that Two of Pentacles in reverse, for me is, upright, she's totally in control of those plates. Doesn't matter what's going on in the background. She knows exactly what she's doing. But it's not. It's in the reverse. So it's like the lack of control of your destination really comes from the fact that you don't know what it is you want. And that's hard. Listen, it is hard, because without knowing what you want, you can't possibly hope to get there. You can't possibly hope to. And that's, like, look at that. She's literally planned everything. She's on her own. She's got her picnic, a telescope. She's ready for that shooting star. Plan is there. She's waiting, and she knows what it is. And maybe she's going to make a wish. Who knows what she's doing? But you have to. My advice is you need to make that wish. You need to work out what it is you want before you can hope to go after it. Anyway, I hope that helps. Now, as I said, if you would like to book a private reading, all the details you need are in the description box down below. Take care. I'll see you soon.